Good morning, and welcome back to Miniature Monday on Gaming with ADHD, where today we are going to take a look at the Dystopian Wars Hunt for the Prometheus starter set. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know that Warcradle Studios sent me a few different fleet sets for various factions in the game, and I was absolutely privileged to have that opportunity. But I didn't think that a full review would really be possible until I was actually able to play the game. Now, personally, I dug around. There are a couple of options. You can get the rules for free off of their website, but there are still tokens and the measuring templates and also the Valor decks that are still required for each player. And since I don't know anyone around me who plays, I wanted to find the starter set. That's been a bit of a chore, so I will admit that I think that is definitely a problem in that right now distribution seems a little limited. I am in Arizona in the United States, and I literally searched about 20 different stores across 4 different states until I finally found the set. Now, I did purchase this on my own. I didn't receive it from Warcradle Studios. So all thoughts on this are completely my own, and it's absolutely my own money going into it. But to start off with, I want to do an unboxing and just look at everything that you get inside. I do have a few more videos planned. I want to do builds and build reviews of the 2 different fleets that you get inside. And then also start trying to do some videos breaking down the rules. I've wanted to expand into that for a while, and I think this is going to be a great one to start with because I've never touched it before. So, with that said, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. I'm going to keep trying to put out the few videos a week like I've been doing, and I'd love for you to see what I cover. I do cover everything from miniatures to role-playing to board games, and pretty much everything in between. So if that interests you, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of that. And then also, if you do like the video, give it a like. It does help with the algorithm on YouTube so that it gets shared out to more people. But also, put a comment down below. If you've seen the starter, if you have it, what do you think of it? What are your thoughts? And also, if this is your first time seeing it, let me know what you thought about that as well. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get into it and start taking a look at the starter set. So, this is it right here. You get 2 factions, the Enlightened and I forget. The Enlightened and the Commonwealth. You can see that right here in the corner. So, that is one thing that I do like about all of their sets is they put these symbols on the box somewhere so that way you know which fleet you're getting, and makes it a little easier to identify. So, let's take this out. Now, this is one of their larger boxes, so you do get a lot of stuff in here. All right. And there, we'll set that there. All right, so we've got bases for SRS tokens. Those are pretty easy to identify. Now, first off, we've got the template. Now, they do give you a measuring device. It's in 2 parts, and it's good for about 10 inches, it looks like. And this is interesting because it clearly is designed to snap together. So, I'm kind of curious as to how well that'll work. But there is some extra flashing that you'll need to cut off. This here at the top is the turn gauge because ships do not turn on a dime. So obviously your movement is going to be affected there. Anyways, I mean, this is a nice little addition. I'm gonna have to give it a try cutting these out on my laser. I do have a laser cutter, and I don't know. They're a little interesting. I'm gonna have, like I said, definitely gonna have to try that out. Alright, so, looks like all of the frames are upside down. Alright, so this is our Enlightened. We get 3 sprues of each of these. So let's set these off to the side. Actually, we'll move the whole box out of the way for a minute. Actually, you know what? Okay. Let's actually go through all the contents first, then I'll look at the sprues. Alright, so we've got 3 Enlightened sprues. Well, Enlightened Cruiser and Frigate. So we got 3 of those. Alright, then we've got 4 more. So these are Commonwealth Cruiser and Frigates. Actually, it's 5. And just looking, these are all identical. So you get 5 sprues for the Commonwealth. Alright. Ah, I see why. Okay. So, real quick, just to show, because each sprue is good for a cruiser and some of the frigates. So you can see 5 for the Commonwealth, but then you're also going to get one of the big battleship scale ships. And then for the Enlightened, you've got your 3 cruisers, you've got your smaller frigates, but then you have 2 of the larger battleship type size ships. And I'm about to get to those because those are down here wrapped up. We'll look at our dice and our tokens here in a minute. Let's see here. Let's start with the Commonwealth cruiser or battleship. At least I think this is. Alright, so it doesn't tell me which ship this is. Let's see if I can figure out. Oh no, this is one of the Enlightened ships. That's fine. Okay, again, it's got the really good quality that I expect from War Cradle resin at this point. Let's see, let's zoom in a little bit. Focus our camera. Yeah, so these kind of have like this sort of very rounded feel to it. Less flat plates like I've seen on the other ships. Also very, very wide. So, interesting look to it, but again, their level of detail on these resin pieces is fantastic, and I'm very happy with the quality that they're putting in the game, at least. You know, I remember Spartan games in the past when this was one of their properties, and the resin wasn't always the best. So to get the quality that they're getting now is, you know, I'm pretty happy with it. And not to say that Spartan was bad. It just, you know, it was not as perfected, I think, as it's gotten lately. Alright, so this is the Commonwealth Battleship. I really like this eagle up here on the bow. I like this a little better. It's not as wide. That enlightened ship is very, very wide. Looks like we've got a couple of separate bits here. So look at the detail on that. That is fantastic. These are going to be real interesting to paint up. Just got to come up with a good scheme. All right. So that's our Commonwealth ship. And then the last. So I know one of the Enlightened ships is the Prometheus. I'm just not sure which one. Alright, where did the... Oh, there it is. Alright, so again, we've got one of these wide Enlightened ships. Let me zoom back out a little. So, interesting that they've got these two cylinders on this side, but they had to keep the other ones separate. Just a little odd. But overall, again, the detail's really good. Like War Cradle has their resins down. It's not always my go-to, but these resins are really good. Let's see, we've got other bits. Okay, so this one is obviously a little different. Gonna have to look at the instructions for building it. Not quite sure what this piece is. Maybe this is supposed to go in here? Or get put in it? I don't know. It's like a little fishtail for a drone kind of a thing. I don't know. This is... I'm very excited to look at the Enlightened just for the build review. Just to see how they come out. Alright, so the last bits. So these are the two Valor and Victory decks. Looks like they are standard size. Got a little damaged, but probably put these in sleeves. Maybe not. Maybe just wear them out. This is... Alright, so that's interesting. Version 1.0. So clearly they might revise it and put out other decks. So that's a little frustrating. I understand why they have to do it because of just rules balance. You'll find things later on, so you'll put out errata. But it's still frustrating when you see that. Just because, again, it's a lot of waste product. And if you've watched any of my other reviews, I really like how they've actually been very not wasteful. So I'd like to see like a digital app or something to manage the fleet, to manage the Valor and Victory deck, just to so that way they can push updates out. You don't run into the problem where if they've updated a deck but somebody hasn't bought it or it's unavailable at their store, using an app would make it a lot easier. And let's be honest, it's 2022. There should be a lot more apps for our miniatures games out there. So that's just me. All right, so then we've got some of the special effect dice. So basically, as your ships are getting, damaged and blown up, this is going to be different status effects that you're going to give them. So I do not believe these dice actually get rolled, or if they do, it's to actually determine what the effect is. So we get 12 of these. And then we've got our standard dice. So we've got a blank, we've got a shield, 2 hits, 1 hit, and then it looks like a critical hit. So, 2 shields as well. So, pretty standard. Little small, but, I mean, they're giving you... How many are they giving you? 40 of these. Okay, so they're giving you 40 of them. Makes sense that they're a little small. Shouldn't affect, you know, actual play very much, but sometimes little dice can get annoying. But anyways, so you get 40 of those. Alright, let me zoom this out a little bit and refocus. Alright, so we've got tokens for icebergs. The Prometheus is somewhere down near Antarctica where the Enlightened have holed up. So obviously having some iceberg tokens would do well. That's a little annoying. I would have preferred to see these double-sided, but that's just me. Could do different pieces of art. You know, make one side islands, one side icebergs. You know, think that could have been done. Here we've got our tokens. So we've got 2 sheets of these. So that's actually really good. You can give each player 1 sheet of tokens. I'm assuming these are damage counters. Various different status effects. Alright. And then we've got the Hunt for the Prometheus Campaign. So, nice little piece of art here in the middle. A little bit of background. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 different scenarios. So, hopefully the way these are built or designed, basically they'll walk you through how to play the game. So, starting with your movement, then getting into shooting, things like that. I'd be surprised if they aren't, but there's your basic scenarios for your starter set. And then you have your rulebook. So this is 143 pages with an index. So that's fantastic. Just a 2-page index. Now, this, I do want to point out, this rulebook is different from the rulebook that you're going to find online. Right now, this is version 1.01 that I have here. And I would look it up, but I put all of my stuff over there. But the biggest difference here, so the first part of the book is the rules. Okay, we've got our contents here in the front, but going to page 40, where we also get 2, 4, 6 different scenarios. So 40 pages just of rules. But then the rest of the book is background. I love the story of the game. What's the story? Why am I here? Why am I playing this game? And when I first looked at the rulebook online, it didn't have any of that background. So just getting the background out of the book, you know, well, there's a lot that makes this box set worth it. You know, but that doesn't hurt. All right. So, last thing I want to do is let's take a look at these sprues. So let me get this stuff back in the box so I can get it out of the way. I know, these are absolutely 100% professionally produced videos. That's why you tune in. I know. All right. So, to start off with, let's look at the Enlightened. Okay, so we've got SRS tokens, different weapon pods. They're all on ball joints. It's not a joint, but I'm calling it a joint. We've got the frigates, and we've got the pieces for the cruiser. Now, just like their resin, their plastic game is on point, especially with all of these curves. Doing this in plastic, this is absolutely gorgeous. I am very happy with this. If you are unfamiliar, the way that a plastic mold works is it has to go straight down and straight out. So to get all of these curves, you have to design it around, this giant steel mold just going straight up, straight down. And to get all of this and actually have this look as good as it does, I mean, I'm very happy with this. Honestly, I wasn't looking at Dystopian Wars until War Cradle sent me the sample sets. But, I mean, just looking at it, I have to play this. I want to try it. It looks a lot of fun, and we'll go from there. So that's the Enlightened, and then here's the Commonwealth. So these have more of, we'll call it a traditional ship styling. You got your deck plates. The bow and the stern. Much more vertical, I'll call it. But still just getting all of this fine detail. Let me see here. Can we focus in on that? I don't know how well this will show up on YouTube for you, but the amount of detail they've got just in that tiny little piece. I mean, overall, these are fantastic. I like these bits. I'm happy with this. This is going to be a lot of fun to build. They're reusing all the generators for the regular factions, so I'm going to have a nice collection of those. We'll just have to get them, painted up. Actually, I think I ended up painting them. The ones that I've used so far, I basically ended up painting them all the same. So the generators I'll be able to use regardless of which fleet I'm playing with. But yeah, so that is everything for the hunt for the Prometheus. I think there are the couple of issues that I pointed out. I would have liked to see the iceberg tokens double-sided so that you can get a little more use out of them in non-Antarctica scenarios. Maybe just like a little bit of art, like a dock, something like that. But overall, for what they're giving you, this is a fantastic deal. The set is a little bit more than $100. I want to say it was... Oh, I have my receipt right here. It is $125 US for the starter set. But again, you get 2 fleets with battleships. I'm not exactly sure on what the points value will be, but to be honest with you, this is a really good deal just because of the fact that you're getting the 2 fleets, plus all the tokens, plus the templates, plus the dice, the 2 decks, everything that you need. The gubbins and rule set, gubbins meaning, all the little tokens and bits, they do sell those separately without any models, but that's still going to run you about $30, if I remember correctly. And each player does need to have one. So you'd be paying about $60 anyways. But for another $60, you're also getting 2 full fleets. Honestly, I can't say that this is a bad deal. I really like this. I'm very excited for this. And I have a lot of building in front of me. So, with that said, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. Are you curious about Dystopian Wars? Are you going to talk to your retailer about picking it up? Like I said, this starter was pretty hard for me to come across in a local shop, but I do know that it is available from waylandgames.co.uk. I'd send you other places if I knew of any here in the United States, but check with your retailer. They can probably get it from one of their distributors, but they'll have to be willing to order it in for you. So there are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do give it a like. Put a comment down below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.